what's up? Check out this blunt and honest review from the Jock and Nerd Podcast. That's us. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the jock.
He's the nerd.
And he's the rug boy.
What's up, guys?
Jock and Nerd. All right, let's get into this week's review. This show is posting right on Christmas this year. It falls in the middle of the week.
Wow.
I didn't plan it that way. We just release on Wednesday. Christmas gets to be. So we're like, let's do a holiday movie. And Anthony, you picked Home Alone.
Home Alone.
And I was down, and we'll talk about this, but here are your spoilers for a 34-year-old movie. Can't really spoil it.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
I feel like this was inevitable. I'm surprised it took us this long to do this because I've known for almost 10 years now how much, and because of the show, I learned how much you love this movie, and it's as much as I love this movie. And
That's right.
Yes, and I didn't think anybody else was like so into this movie. So this will be fun. I'm excited.
It's a classic.
It is an instant classic.
You gotta do.
It's
Home Alone.
Alzheimer's.
It's an old timer. I mean, Alzheimer's.
It's an Alzheimer's. This movie actually launches a franchise that consists of 6 movies.
Wow.
And really, only the first 2 that have Macaulay should count. And there's another kid, and then there's some straight direct-to-TV. I haven't seen any of those. But there's also video games and books and tons of merchandise. Launches a huge franchise. Originally released November 16, 1990. On the Rotten Tomatoes, it is holding a 66% tomato meter. And all of those critics can just fuck right off.
66%?
Yeah, it's way too low. Come on. I don't know what's good. Fuck these.
I don't know about that.
Fuck these Rotten Tomatoes critics. 80% audience score. It's better. The movie was made for $18 million and ends up making worldwide $476 million.
Oh, shit.
It made 285 domestic. It was number 1 for 12 weeks in a row. It was also the top grossing live action comedy for like 27 years. It held the Guinness World Record for highest grossing live action comedy. It's the second or third highest film of 1990. Anthony, what we got that year, 1990? What were some of those box office?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I didn't think of doing that. Give me one moment.
I got
please.
the link right there. You just got to click it.
Well, now I'm
All right.
doing it the old fashioned way. 1990?
Yes.
Oh, wow. 1990. Let's go with 1990. Top 10 movies of that year, and then we'll do some notables. So number 1, Ghost.
Oh, a dead man making clay pottery.
Yeah, Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
And
Clay Boner.
Demi Moore.
Demi Moore, that's
Substance.
right.
She's in the Substance.
Number 2, Pretty Woman.
Wow, yeah.
Debatable.
Julia Roberts, Richard Gere made a lot of money.
He's debatable.
Debatable.
I mean, she's all right.
3, Home Alone.
Nice.
4, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh,
That should have been the number 1 movie.
We've reviewed that one too. That was fun.
I'm kidding.
Still holds up.
5, The Hunt for Red October.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
Alec
that's a sleeper.
Baldwin. It's Jack Ryan.
6, Total Recall.
Fuck yeah.
Get your ass to Mars.
Consider this a divorce.
7, Die Hard 2.
How can the same thing happen to the same guy twice?
All right, I hope you have a quote from this one. Number 8, Driving Miss Daisy.
Miss Daisy, I gotta drive you. I think he says that at some point.
I'll accept that one.
I'll believe it. Yeah, that's believable enough. Number 9, Dick Tracy.
Oh, best line in this movie. Robert De Niro as the bad guy goes, mind if I call you Dick? It's so good. It's the funniest line. Madonna, Warren Beatty, crazy movie.
I'm on my way.
Yeah.
10, Back to the Future Part 3.
Oh, that's a good one. The Wild West one.
Other notables from that year for us, you had Dances with Wolves.
Oh, yeah.
Arachnophobia.
Yeah.
Another 48 Hours.
Oh.
Terrible movie. Hard to Kill.
Oh, shit.
From Steven Seagal. RoboCop 2.
Oh, that is not a good movie.
Rocky 5.
Oh, shit.
The Little Mermaid. Misery.
Wow.
Goodfellas.
One of the best movies ever made.
Shit, Goodfellas.
Predator 2. Kindergarten Cop. Godfather Part 3.
That's not good.
Back to the Future. No, and Back to the Future 2 as well.
Darkman also came out. Great movie.
Edward Scissorhands.
Edward Scissorhands, Flatliners. 1990. Solid year.
A lot of movies.
Solid year. This one, though, coming in number 3, top grossing, did really well. This movie is directed by Chris Columbus and written and produced by John Hughes. Great team.
Jesus, look at all these movies. Not one of them is a fucking sequel. I mean, actually,
right? There's a couple, but nothing like this year where every fucking movie has a number.
It's become a different.
Yeah.
The sequels were coming out.
There's a Forbidden Dance movie and Lambada came out.
Oh, yeah. Remember when that happens and you get 2 movies of the same thing? Yeah. Lambada and Forbidden Dance. Anyways, Chris Columbus, John Hughes, got 2 guys who John Hughes especially, ruled the 80s teen movie scene, starring a 10-year-old adorable Macaulay Culkin. That's Kevin McAllister. You got
another Christmas movie that came out this year, for what it's worth.
Yeah.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Oh, yeah.
Another classic.
In fact, Chris Columbus was signed on to direct National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Sorry. No, that was actually 1989.
That was the year before.
I'm reading it wrong.
So the way Chris Columbus gets this job is he was working on that movie and did not get along with Chevy Chase, who is a known notorious asshole, apparently.
So then he left the project. And then he discovered America.
And then he discovers America and goes, I'm going to make a movie about a kid left at home. That's how he gets this job.
Sorry. I did this all fucked up.
Yeah.
I looked at the calendar releases.
If
you look at the total gross from a movie that was released in 1990, but that incorporates 89 or excuse me, 91.
Yeah.
Home Alone is number 1.
Home Alone, because it went to like
85.
February. Like it was
Home Alone was 1. I'll just do it real quick. Home Alone was 1.
Wow.
Ghost 2. Dances with Wolves 3. Pretty Women 4. Teenage Mutant Turtles 5. Hunt for Red October 6. Total Recall 7. Die Hard 2. 8. Dick Tracy 9. And Kindergarten Cop 10.
Yeah,
I'm a cop, you idiot.
It's not a tumor.
Who is your daddy?
But a lot of other movies came out that year.
Yeah, that was a big year, but Home Alone,
including Navy SEALs.
Oh God!
Oh my God! Remember that movie?
Melati's favorite movie.
Melati's favorite movie of all time.
Macaulay Culkin, Joe Pesci, of course, as Harry. Daniel Stern as Marv. The late John Hurd as Father Peter McAllister. The hilarious Catherine O'Hara, Kate McAllister, who we've seen in Beetlejuice and on Schitt's Creek. And then you got John Candy cameo as Gus Polinski, and a bunch of other character actors like Larry Hankin. A lot of guys that have been on Seinfeld later that decade, and Kieran Culkin, Macaulay's brother, also joining him, and Devin Ratteray as Buzz. All right, look, this movie's rated PG, 1 hour and 43. Anthony, let's start with this. I'm sure I feel like everybody's seen it, but what happens in Home Alone?
Home Alone is about a child that hates his family, and they're going to Paris for Christmas. And the night before they go to Paris, he gets into a fight with his family and wishes that his family would disappear. And they forget him. They forget him at home.
Oh, no.
So he is home alone. And while he is home alone, there are burglars that are ransacking the entire neighborhood during Christmas. And they know that his family is gone. And the child, who's about, 7, maybe.
He's supposed to be 8, I guess. Or yeah.
Has to protect his house from these burglars that are trying to steal everything on Christmas.
Yeah. And the film, of course, shot a lot of on location in affluent suburban Chicago, Winnetka, Wilmette, and the interiors were set in New Trier High School gymnasium.
That's correct. You learned about that on the
movies that made us. Yes,
on Netflix,
and actually shot at O'Hare Airport too, which is kind of crazy. But I know that terminal. Oh yeah, the terminal is great, and every time I'm in there, I just want to run and I want to hear Christmas music. It's great. Let's start with this, Anthony. What is your relationship, your history with this movie? Why is it so beloved to you?
I mean, this is a movie I grew up with. As a kid, I saw this movie all the time. I remember as a kid, my family used to think I looked like Macaulay Culkin.
Oh, get out.
I don't have blonde hair.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
He's adorable.
I used to get that, but I used to watch this one and Home Alone 2 all the time.
Yeah.
And anytime I could watch it, I would throw it on. Christmas, definitely throw it on. as an adult, obviously haven't watched it as much, but it's one of those movies for me that you watch a movie as a kid and you connect with it. And it's a movie that I just connected with from an early stage, similar to like watching Godzilla as a kid or watching the X-Men or Batman or, any sort of movies, or Sylvester Stallone bang Sharon Stone in a shower. Like these are type of things that you just ingrained with you as a kid.
The Demolition Man. What was that?
That movie was that. I don't remember what the movie was.
Detonator? I don't know, some kind of a.
Yeah, it was a really bad movie. But I vividly remember watching that as a kid and being like, oh my goodness. When you watch things as a kid, they imprint in you.
Yeah.
And Home Alone is definitely a movie that's been imprinted in my psyche forever. And we can talk about where it stands as far as all-time Christmas movies, but definitely a very close relationship with Home Alone.
And when I heard that, it was crazy because I did not know that about you. And I have kind of the same. And I wasn't even a kid. I was like 14 when this came out. But this thing sold 11 million VHS copies. Everybody had a copy of this tape. And me and my sister would watch the shit out of it. We'd watch it every year. We could do every line. There was something about this that just, it was an instant classic. And I've seen this, and I can still do every line. I've seen this movie so many times. And it is probably one of the greatest Christmas movies of all time to me. Ruggs, what's your history with this movie?
By the way, that Sylvester Stallone movie with Sharon Stone is The Specialist.
Oh, The Specialist. That's right. That was bad.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I have no relationship to this movie. I was a little old to watch it when it came out. I believe I didn't see it, never saw it in its entirety. Not that it wasn't on its entirety. I lost interest at a certain point in time. And then I remember like seeing the opening where he gets home alone. And then when the robbers try to take the house and he does the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then everything in the middle, I forgot or didn't pay attention to, never paid attention to.
I think this movie is also interesting watching it as a kid and watching it as an adult. I do want to find out if it hits differently. But I got to mention John Williams doing the score that has a great theme.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like the whole movie is based, a lot of it is Macaulay turns in an incredible, adorable performance. Like, he's really good. There's so many little moments and little lines, like almost every few seconds in this movie that just make me laugh. And I remember, what is it? It's enduring nature. I feel like it still holds up. It's pretty timeless. What do you think, Anthony?
Yeah, I mean, I think number one, Macaulay Culkin is really adorable in the movie. He's quite charming. For a child actor that's playing somewhat of a little rat, little jerk,
little piece of shit
in the beginning.
Yeah.
A little piece of shit. He makes you enjoy him. I like how he tries to play off like he's an adult and interacts with people.
Yeah.
Is this toothbrush?
The scenes are great.
Approved by the American Dental Association, or even when he has that nice little conversation with the girl at the grocery.
Guy. Oh no, old man Marley. Yeah,
old man Marley, and they have their conversation, and he's still talking like a child.
Yeah,
but they're like having almost, it seems like a real interaction where he's talking like a child but making good points, and then the adult is talking to him and talking to him kind of like a child, but then also displaying some real things, and then the part where they go like, nice talking to you, and it's just like the whole thing is like very poignant. He's really good. Pesci and fucking Daniel Stern are fucking hilarious.
They are so funny. Great
and it's like modern Three Stooges comedy.
Yeah.
Where they're getting hit in the face with shit that should like kill you, and it doesn't want to really do anything. So like the whole protecting the house and all that stuff, like all of that works. I just, every time, even watching it as an adult, I laugh every time at some of the visuals. It's very visual, but there's a lot of like really poignant stuff with him and the old man Marley. So they just, it's a John Hughes wrote it, right? It's a John Hughes movie, so it's not surprising that he's able to weave in these different things. And I think it starts with John Hughes and Macaulay Culkin and goes from there as far as why it's.
Then you add the John Williams and the setting.
I mean, it's literally they have everything you can have to make a kiddie Christmas movie, like elevate it.
Ruggs, what are some of your favorite moments? Did you connect more with watching this movie as an adult?
No, I'm kind of mad that I didn't see it as a kid because I think I would have really liked it as a kid because it's like everything that you want when you're a little kid. You want to be like,
yes,
you want to tell your mom to fuck off.
He says some ballsy shit to his mom, right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. She's like, I don't care if I never see any of you again.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, he tells his mom to fuck off.
Yes.
And then he gets to be home alone and he gets to look at Playboy magazine.
That is hilarious. But I love that whole scene in Bus's room.
And, like I would have loved to see that as a kid. And I missed it. It just passed me by. And I forced myself to watch it. Not like forced, but I was kind of like, all right, I know what this movie is. I'm not going to be surprised. But you know what? It is a good movie. There's a reason it's a classic. It does have lots of things going for it. And I don't know why he never goes to the cops or the cops never fucking come. But
well, I'll tell you what, though.
He goes shopping. But he
goes shopping and he could have.
I understand this stuff has to happen for the movie to happen. So
you know what? John Hughes, though, plugged a lot of plot holes in this movie. You can tell he tried really hard to cover all the bases. And you can poke some holes, but largely a lot. Because I was like, is Kate a bad mom? But
he literally interacts with so many adults. He can be like, listen, after he knows people are going to rob the house, he says nothing because he wants to do it.
Yeah.
Well,
he wants to defend the house.
Yeah, he wants to. I think I chalk that up as he thinks of himself as an adult.
Yeah.
And he wants to be he's still battling with that, but he thinks he has to be the man of the house.
Right. It's my house. I have to protect it.
That whole line where he runs back and says, my house. I have to protect it.
Yeah. So look, starting with the head count scene, brilliantly done. The annoying next door neighbor, checking. He's like going through their bags. This fucking kid. Does
this car have good gas mileage?
Yes, he's asking ridiculous questions.
He's annoying the shit
Mitch
out of the
Murphy from next door.
And they hit the lawn jockey too.
Oh, everybody hits the lawn jockey. That's a great gag. That's a great gag.
But I forgot in rewatching this while you're talking about, I forgot that the power goes out, which is why they get all fucked up. Yes. And they're scrambling.
It's and I love that one. She's like, Peter, we slept in. And the whole time
they both get out and yell at the same time. We slept in.
It's so good. So the head count gets fucked up because of Mitch Murphy. You'll notice in the whole scene before, the incident that caused this, the pizza scene, the fact that Buzz ate his what an asshole. Buzz knows there's one cheese pizza and it's for Kevin, and he just ate all of it, and they spilled milk over everything. If you notice, his father accidentally throws away Kevin's passport and ticket. So that means when they get to the airport, he wouldn't have known that Kevin
throw that away?
You could see it in that shot. So when they get to the airport, there wouldn't have been any red flags there. They had everybody's ticket. And then the power goes out, so you can't call the cops. But he does eventually call the cops on that second day. Maybe it went back on.
Yeah, what was his plan there?
I don't know. That was weird. Throughout the assault,
he was going to lead them to that place that's flooded, and then the cops were going to come
across the street.
Oh yeah, he was saying that that house was being robbed, and he was going to lead the cops there.
He called in that house
because he didn't want the cops to come to his house because he didn't want his family to think there was any trouble at the house.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, but he had no plan once he got there. He just was like, I guess he's going to try to
chase me through the basement, and
the cops will be there,
and I'll lock him in or something. Yeah. But they established so many things well, like Old Man Marley, which he wasn't in the original script, but this whole character and that scene in the church is touching, and of course, Marley comes in for the
scene in the church. It's much more as an adult,
dude. I legit teared up again watching that scene between them when Kevin's giving him. No, when I teared up is at the end when he sees Old Man Marley and it's snowing and he's there with his family and he's hugging his granddaughter and they make eye contact. I fucking teared up there because
I love that,
so
that church scene, that conversation, like I mentioned earlier.
Yeah,
it's so well done because again, Old Man Marley's talking like an adult, but treating him like respecting him, but also, giving him advice. And Macaulay Culkin's character is talking to him and giving him advice, but in a childish way.
Yeah.
Where they're interacting, and it's in line with both of who they are. It's not like this force where now Macaulay Culkin's all of a sudden aged up to talk to him like an adult.
Yeah. No, I love that where he mentions the furnace and how he kind of conquers. And I love that just little bit of imagination peeking in the whole furnace monster thing. And then he's just like, shut up. And he gets over it and he uses that. And the guy's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, call your son. Like he's giving him really solid advice. And it's so tight. You also notice Old Man Marley's hand, there's a wound on it. And then when he's buying the toothbrush, there's like a bloody bandage, right? It's scary. But by the church scene, there's just like a Band-Aid. Like his wound is healing, like his relationship is healing with Kevin. I'd be so annoyed. I'd be like, you guys don't have to fucking run and scream for me every time. What's up, you stupid kids? Here's a great story. So there's this guy at work I hired. He's been working there like a year and a half. Real good guy. We're randomly talking about Home Alone.
Where the hell is this going?
No. Watch this is great. Randomly talk about how great Home Alone is, as I do every so often. And he goes, "Oh, you know the cop that goes to their house, the guy who's like, there's no one here. The house is secure. Tell her to count her kids again." He goes, "That's my grandfather." I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, he's in the second movie too." I'm like, "How did that happen?" He goes, "Oh, my uncle directed the movie."
Oh,
I said, "Your uncle is Chris Columbus?" He goes, "Yeah. When he was a kid, he flew to London for like the Harry Potter premieres. His uncle, this dude, and he just I'm like, you're telling me this now? I had no idea." He's like, "My uncle, his uncle is Chris Columbus." I was like, "Get the fuck out of here." So that was just wild. And I can't believe I just found out. I know this dude for like a year and a half. I would lead with that. "Hi, how you doing? My uncle directed Chris Home Alone. Nice to meet you."
Wow.
But what else? What else? Some favorite parts. I mean,
I just like when the guys get hit with stuff.
Okay, let's talk about
their
this.
reactions are
Yeah, I mean, you can't talk about favorite stuff without talking about that.
Let's talk about the whole assault because.
Well, before even that, though, if we're talking about favorite stuff before we get to that, because I think that you got to talk about that as its own thing.
Yeah.
I even love when after the church, when he runs towards the house and the music starts swelling up and he comes in and he's like, "I got to protect it," and like gears up. That to me, you're going to laugh. And I'm being a little bit facetious, but not really. That to me is like freaking Schwarzenegger.
I knew you were going to go there.
Yes. Gearing up with guns and shit.
Yes.
Like him gearing up the house. I get pumped up for that.
I knew you were going to go there, and I totally get it. The montage of him with the blueprint and ornaments is spelled wrong, and him setting all the traps up. The music is great.
It's like he's gearing up the fucking house. I'm like, he's ready for war.
Yeah, he's like, bring it on. No, I love that. There's some smart things. There's some cartoony things. But this assault, like any one of these injuries would have put him in the hospital or killed him. Which is hilarious, and none of it happens.
They would have been dead so many times.
Let's start with the BB gun.
Like the iron would have just.
Well, first, BB gun to the groin and head is
that's great.
Is great, and it's hilarious. And he pops up. He's like, "Hello," and then him.
Well, the BB gun to the nuts.
Yeah,
right off the bat, the BB gun to the nuts, and you get Joe Pesci's reaction. Yes! Where he's like, and he's just like the way his face looks and the way he wants to start swearing but great. Can't. Well, he's so good.
I love how he swears like Yosemite Sam from the Looney Tunes. He's just like frigid. There is a shit in the movie. Marv says it when he drops his shoe in the doggy door. You hear him go shit. And he grabs it, which is really funny. So BB gun first, and then he ices down the concrete, and this whole sequence. These stuntmen are doing these incredible fucking falls, and they look like it really hurts every time, repeatedly, as Marv slides down to the basement and Harry can't get up the stairs. Is fucking hilarious. And then Harry finally gets up the stairs and burns his hand on the doorknob, leaving a mark like the dude from Raiders of the Lost Ark, the Nazi, found the medallion. And another fall down the stairs. That's crazy. And then Marv gets in, pulls the light string.
Wait, did you even? I mean, I might have missed this. Did you get in when Marv sticks his head through the doggy door? Well, that's shot right.
Yeah, that's the BB gun. So it goes BB gun to the groin. Then Marv sticks his head in and gets one right in. Dude, He could have taken his eye out. Like, that could have been really bad.
I still think that the iron falling on his face would have killed him.
He pulls the line.
That first thing.
It would have cracked his skull or broken like some orbital bones at least. There would have been
Well, in Home Alone 2, he throws
concussion.
bricks from the top of a 3-4 story building and hit him in the
both
head.
things leave an imprint on his face, but he's fine. But the iron imprint on his face is so fucking funny. It's so cartoony. Yeah, that one's great. So Marv gets the iron to the head, and then he up the stairs are some treacherous things like tar. He loses his shoes and socks and then steps on a nail. And to this day, I still can't watch that scene. It makes me wince. But apparently it was like a rubber nail that he just pushed out. But I was like, oh my God. You notice these guys never look down before they put their feet down wherever they're stepping. They're just like, whatever. It should be fine. Harry finally enters the kitchen, gets a blowtorch to the head for
his reaction on that one too is so good.
And that's like, it's like at least 45 seconds to a minute of blowtorch to the head. That would have melted his fucking skin off to the skull. Like the skull would have been exposed, but you just got to dunk your head in snow. You're fine. And then Harry busts in and gets tarred and feathered like in a cartoon. Hilarious.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Bryce.
no. I love that. And then I just love the next. And that's when Marv sees the window and climbs in, doesn't look down, and gets a bunch of ornaments to his bare feet.
That scene doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
But
that only works
because Joe Pesci's character already broke in the door. So he would have left that open, and Marv could have just followed him in.
Yes, timing-wise, I noticed that. I was like, Harry just went in there, and Marv goes past him, but he's right there. The door would have been open, or he could have said
when he
something.
steps on the ornaments, and then they meet in the living room. Yeah, I wrote this down.
Yes.
Where he goes, Marv goes, or Harry goes to Marv. Why the hell did you take your shoes off? And Marv responds with, why you dressed like a chicken?
Why you dressed like a chicken? This is great. This is so great. Joe Pesci has some great shit. Wait, okay, continuing the attack. Then you get him stepping on the ornaments, like that's the homemade ornaments with Kevin's dad's good fish hooks. I can't make ornaments on the old one. They got fish cuts on. But that only works because he's barefoot. So that was very convenient. That worked out. Then we get the great Micro Machines trip and fall. Great idea. Always have little cars on the floor. And then you get the great, you guys give up or you're thirsty for more, which was an improvised line. We get paint cans to the head. That again, that's concussion. Harry has lost his gold tooth at this point. And this is when Kevin calls the cops and says, this is Murphy, which
Marv points out to him.
Yeah.
You're missing some teeth, and that really pisses him off.
He's like, I'm going to kill this kid. Come on, kill him. Yeah. I mean, that's the gold tooth. That's expensive for a cat burglar. You want that. And so when he goes, this is Murphy, I always think of RoboCop for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say the same.
So then they go upstairs. There's the tripwire. Harry goes down. Marv grabs Kevin's leg. And here we have the tarantula moment. Now, this tarantula is set up so great.
Yeah, the tarantula's crawling around the entire movie.
They introduce him in the beginning. Buzz talks about how he fed him a bunch of mice guts. He'll be fine. When Kevin climbs up to get the money, it falls. The tarantula is loose. And then you see shots of the tarantula every so often setting up this tarantula everywhere he is. It's so good. And it's finally on the stairs. And you get the tarantula to the face. And this is a real tarantula. They actually put a real tarantula on his face.
No, on the face, but then on Joe Pesci, it's not.
Oh,
real.
on Joe Pesci, it's fake because then he throws it up Pesci, and this is great.
But you're running through this too quick.
Okay. What are the details?
Daniel Stern's reaction when the tarantula gets on his face
is
and
brilliant.
that scream he lets out makes me laugh every time.
Yeah,
and then once it's on Joe Pesci and he fucking crowbars him in the stomach.
What are you doing, Marv? Marv, what are you doing? Hold still, Harry. He's like, did I get it? And he's like, how do you like it? And he hits him with the fucking crowbar.
He goes, did I get it?
Did I get it? It was like, what are you doing, Marv? Wait. Just to back up, I love Joe Pesci when he's explaining how the lights come on, and he's like, 469 gonna go on right about now. And then he's like, wait. Okay. And then this one, now. He's like, wait. It's so funny. It's so funny.
Oh, well, if we're going back to some lines earlier in the movie, I love when Marv sneaks up on the house and Kevin plays Filthy Angels or whatever.
Oh my God, we have to talk about that. Yes,
they have the whole line, and then he runs in. He's like, someone beat us to the punch. Someone got blasted in there. He's like, snakes. He's like, he sounded like a snake.
He sounded like a snake. You don't know any snakes. Someone got blown away. Let's get out of here.
The fact that he's watching this old movie is funny
It's so
too.
great. Guys, I'm eating garbage and watching rubbish. You better come out and stop me. He's just got.
It's a fake old movie too, right? They filmed
I
it just
did
for this
not
movie.
know for years that movie wasn't real. They shot that so perfectly on black and white film that I thought that was a real fucking movie.
I thought so as well.
Keep the change, you filthy animals. When he uses the firecrackers to get the pizza, also he does
I
good.
still say that line to this day. Keep the change, you filthy animal.
I'm gonna give you till the count of 10 to get you.
When he counts and goes 1, 2, 10.
And then fucking Kevin's laughing along with him. So good. Angels. And then they have a second one in the second
he tips the pizza guy 20 cents.
Keep the change. It's like cheapskate.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Yeah. He's like, let me tell you what I'm going to do.
Pizza guy. Oh, man. Sorry. Go ahead.
AC said 10%. Well, AC ain't here no more. Anyways. Okay. So we get that tarantula on the face. The tarantula beating is great. And Kevin's set up a little escape route, zip line to the treehouse. That's great. He goes over there, and then they go over, and what's he called?
Oh, wait. No, there's another line there, though.
Yeah.
Where he goes to the treehouse. Marv and Harry look across, and Marv goes, he's calling the cops. Right away, Joe Pesci goes, from a treehouse?
Yes, that's great. It's like, he's not calling from a treehouse. He's like, no, that's what he wants, to go back through his little playpen. So they climb on the rope.
They do some stupid.
Kevin's like, I'm over here, you horse's ass. He's just insulting them. Kevin cuts the rope, slamming them into the house. It's fantastic. And he runs past them. And then he enters the basement. Of course, it's flooded because they're
the sticky band.
Yes, I love at the beginning. He's like, what are you laughing at? He's like, you did it again, Dingy. Why you do that? I told you not to do that.
You're sick. You're really sick.
It's like we're the wet bandits, Harry. How are they going to know? And
that line, also the line where Marv goes, sorry. Marv says, we got to say some of these other lines earlier. Where Marv goes, kids are afraid of the dark.
He's
and then Harry goes, you're afraid of the dark too, Marv.
That's great. He's like, I am not. Come on. I love just all the lines in that pizza moment where he's like, look what you did, you little jerk. By the way, how about you calling your fucking cousin jerk in front of your nephew? Like, it's not your kid.
The most underrated thing from watching this again was how funny the brother-in-law is.
Uncle Frank.
Uncle Frank. I mean, when they're discussing on the plane that Kevin's gone, he's just like, terrible, just terrible. He's like, well, if it makes you feel any better, I lost my reading glasses.
Yes. No, before that,
he's kind of a dick.
He's tapping the salt and pepper shaker. He's like, Crystal. He's like, put it in your purse. Put it in your purse. Come on. He's stealing the fucking Crystal. He's such a cheapskate.
He takes the shrimp out from the cocktails. And it's that's for the cocktail. He's just like serving it up. He's such he's one of those guys that a cheapskate uncle that you're like never want around because he's like just will embellish everything.
Uncle Frank is hilarious.
Go ahead, Rick. I'm sorry, Imran.
I got nothing to say.
I mean, everything, like the aftershave moment that Macaulay does. I think he came up with that too, and it becomes
the way
iconic.
he screams into the camera.
Yeah,
the aftershave moments, the moments where he's running around the house and like looks into the camera and screams because he got afraid, or the part where the car almost hits him and he screams right in front of the car.
Yes.
Every time I laugh when he screams.
Yeah, he's just adorable. He's got good timing. And even like little lines. I don't know what it is. His delivery when like they come back and he's like, I did the groceries. He's like, I bought the eggs, milk, and fabric softener. And it's just, I don't know why it's so funny. Also I love when Harry tells Marv, he's like, go check it out. And then Marv just sits there. He goes, now? He's like, no, tomorrow, egghead. Now.
I do, while we're wrapping up that third part, I enjoy when they hang Kevin on the hook.
Yeah, so what's great is they actually finally kind of outsmart him, you know?
Right.
It only goes so far. He was going to run out of luck. And he's
they
like,
hang him, but then it all comes full circle because then Old Man Marley comes in and saves the day.
We're going to do to him what he did to us.
Right.
So
Old Man Marley saves the day, and then because fucking Harry or Marv is such an idiot with the wet bandits.
Yes.
The cops are like, oh, because I'm paraphrasing, but because you left this calling card, we know that you've robbed every single one of these houses.
And Marv is like, make sure you get it. It's the wet bandits. W-E. And he was like, shut up. And then I even love when the cop touched him. He goes, hands off the head, pal. As he sits in. Like every line Joe Pesci has in this is fucking hilarious. Yes. And then, even the moment where he's waving bye-bye, they get arrested. He goes to sleep. He wakes up. It's snowing. He thinks his mom is there. It's heartbreaking. Nobody's
because he wishes
there.
he goes to the fake ass Santa and wishes they come back.
That scene also hilarious. But yeah, he starts to miss his family. And
that scene is hilarious because he goes, I know the deal here.
Yeah.
You're not the real Santa, but you report to him. You work for him.
And then he's like, oh, wait, let me give you something. You can't go away empty-handed. He gives him Tic Tacs. He's like, don't spoil your dinner, kid. And then the car stalls, and that was actually not supposed to happen. The car actually stalled. But when his mom shows up at the end, and at first, he's really mad at her. And then she goes, I'm so sorry. And then instantly turns. It's like, it's so good. And then everybody else shows up at the end is also great because his dad finds the gold tooth. They wrap that up. Kevin sees old man Marley.
I'm going to jump in here and say,
go for it.
I did not like the reunion. I felt like the dad just came in like, oh, you're okay. Like there is no, if your kid's like home alone and you're in another country, you would be fucking tearing your hair out. You'd be like not unable to fucking compose yourself and come into the house and be like, hey, you're okay. You did it just fine.
I actually agree with you, Ruggs. One of the questions I wrote down was, does Kevin's father actually love him? No care in the world to help the mom get back there.
No, he's like, yeah, but they took the next.
He's all like, he's probably fine.
Yes. I know. I love when Buzz goes, you know why? This is why nothing's going to happen. And he goes, he lists 3 things, and he goes A, 2, and D.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
But Kevin's dad, you're right.
You think he would be a little more
in the world
concerned.
For his son.
Also, does Kevin ever tell them what exactly happened? Because he's just like, just hung out.
He's just
hanging around.
He's just hanging around. So
I also couldn't figure out why all the it seemed like all those kids, half of those kids were just their parents just dropped them off there. It's all family, but they're not all
right.
Part of the mothers and dads that are there. A couple of those kids just got dropped off.
I don't even know who's related to him.
That's right. That's what I'm getting at. I can't figure out, other than Buzz, I don't know who's actually his brother or sister.
The other girl and the other girl, the older girl. I don't know. There was a lot of kids in this house.
It's a big house.
Fuller is Uncle Frank's
you need to have 4 kids, at least 4 of them.
I don't want to sleep with Fuller. He wets the bed. Fuller,
and then you cut the Fuller, and he's drinking the Pepsi.
He's drinking the Pepsi and smiling. It's great. He gets his face smushed by his father. That's Uncle Frank's kid. That's Kieran Culkin. And then it ends great with Buzz You hear Buzz just go, Kevin, what did you do to my room? Because you
also have the iconic line I have it on a Christmas sweater.
Yeah.
Where he's looking through Buzz's stuff and he goes, Buzz, your girlfriend.
Whoa. So I read that picture was they felt,
was that girl?
They felt bad about finding an actual girl to make fun of. It's a boy dressed as a girl. It's like one of the crew's kids. They put him in a wig and a dress.
You couldn't do that anymore either.
Yeah,
because all those girls are gorgeous.
The other things though that would change. Have you made this today? This is in the age of payphones and address books, no cell phones. Everybody has video now, and you got wireless cameras everywhere, so it wouldn't be a big deal. I mean, you could see him, you could talk to him.
The big thing is, the big question besides does Kevin's dad actually love him is. These are the worst parents in the world. Right?
Is Kate?
There's no way in the world you would leave your house without your son.
But they did do everything. They did a head count. They weren't missing a ticket. But how do you not realize with all those kids? And halfway through, I'm like, is Kate a bad mom? And she does say she's a bad
horrible.
mom. Yeah.
Well, typically in a family dynamic, the youngest kid is usually the most coddled kid, the most cared about kid.
But he was forgotten. Completely.
Yeah, so that doesn't track. But
the middle kid is always forgotten.
Would have been, yeah.
Yeah, right? In a big family.
I mean, at some point, you would think, first off, I think you as a mom would at least try to see if your kids were in the cars.
Right. She left it up to the daughter.
Oh yeah, when you go to a place like an airport, like the moms are always looking.
You'd be like, "Is everybody here?" But they were running late.
But then you got to go through the checkpoints.
Yeah, they were running late, and they were running.
I did write down that this is a time when you could go to the airport
at the last
45 minutes before.
Yeah. You can't do that.
I guess it's like pre 9/11.
It is. Oh, way pre.
Oh, yeah.
Way.
I mean, they wouldn't even gotten through TSA in the amount of time they got through the fucking.
Back then, I remember walking people to the gate and then not getting on a flight.
Yeah, you could go to the gate without a ticket. Absolutely. Right. Yes, you could. Yeah. I remember doing that too. Can't do that shit anymore.
No, definitely cannot. There is. I'm probably even missing line. Like there's so many lines that I sat there and I was just laughing at, even as an adult.
Everything John Candy says is hilarious. Gus Polinski, the polka king of the Midwest. Did you know
how many records did they sell? It was like 60?
Like 623. She goes, in Chicago? He goes, no, Sheboygan. We're big in Sheboygan. Polka, polka, polka. Yamahuchi polka, aka Kiss Me Polka. No, nothing. And then the story. What is the story he tells? He left his kid at a funeral parlor once.
The whole day.
The whole day. It's not helping. It's not helping her feel better. He's like, I'm going to stop talking about this. He's like, you asked. He goes, you started it. So funny. So John Candy did a favor for Chris Columbus. He said, I get to improvise every line. He shot his scenes in one day, 23 hours, and they paid him $414 for this entire part of the thing.
That's not a lot of money. It's like, what is it, like $2,000 now?
He got paid less. The compromise was he gets to improv every line and just get in there and do his shtick. And like, it's so good, the improv between him. Well, Catherine O'Hara, also a great big improver. So those two were able to do it.
Do you want to go into who almost was going to play Harry and Marv?
Yeah.
Those casting, as Bill Simmons would go, the casting what ifs on this are pretty
What
insane.
are the what ifs there, Anthony?
Do you have it in front of you? I actually don't have it in front of me.
Robert De Niro.
Yeah, as Harry.
Marv. First.
As Harry.
Yes.
Yeah.
They asked him first. He turned it down. Then they offered it to
Can you imagine Robert De Niro in that?
I mean, maybe.
But let me ask you guys this before we do the other. Before Home Alone, was Joe Pesci ever in type movies like this? Because this, as a kid, I always associated Joe Pesci with a comedy.
Do Lethal Weapon? Was I think that was like his. Well, Goodfellas. He's also in Goodfellas, which comes out the same year, which is kind of crazy. But he was comedy in the Lethal Weapon. Was that before
Lethal Weapon?
Oh, that was
2.
later. He's in 4. Was he in 2? He's also
that's
in
when
4.
he debuts in 2.
Oh, and then that's a good point, because 2 years later you get My Cousin Vinny, and that's a tour de force comedy performance, and then he's in Lethal Weapon 3. So before Home Alone, he just does Goodfellas, Betsy's Wedding, Lethal Weapon 2. So there's some comedy there.
Yeah, Lethal Weapon 2.
It would have been Lethal Weapon 2. Oh, he's in Once Upon a Time in America.
He's also Raging Bull.
He's in Easy Money, Rodney Dangerfield. He's in
Raging Bull was way before everything.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's like one of his first few roles. He was in the Moonwalk. That's right. He was in Michael Jackson's Moonwalker and Smooth Criminal, and as the one character. But
he's 81 now.
So De Niro turns it down. Then they offer it to John Lovitz, who I could also see doing this. But Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern are the perfectly cast.
Daniel Stern initially was cast, and then I think he left because they weren't going to pay him enough.
Oh,
so they
yes.
What's his name? Roebuck?
Oh, yeah. They did cast somebody else, and then he came back.
I'm sorry. It was Daniel Roebuck, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Daniel Stern. Yeah, Daniel Roebuck was hired to replace him.
Briefly, and
he was on the set for 2 days, and Chris Columbus thought him and Pesci lacked chemistry, so they kicked him out.
Yeah, these two are perfect.
Also, Uncle Frank, who played by Jerry Baman, was also written for Kelsey Grammer.
Oh, I could kind of see that too, but I like this Uncle Frank. He's much more hateable.
Oh, he's an ass.
You just hate this fucking Uncle Frank's such an asshole. Also, let's talk about the house. What does this father do? The brother is clearly rich because he paid for them to go to Paris, and you see them in the background briefly. The brother's building is also the one in 2 that he uses. The
dad's got to be a lawyer.
What the fuck does the dad do? Because you know what I love in the age I am now, my late 40s, is house porn. And let me just tell you, this house, it's in Winnetka on Lincoln Avenue. It just sold recently $5.2 million.
The house in and of itself is a character in the movie.
It was a tourist attraction. You can actually drive by it. It is 5 beds, 6 baths, 9,126 square feet. It's a fucking giant house. And you see the exterior and the staircase and a little bit of the main floor is the real house.
That's a big ass house.
It's a huge house.
If the family is really just the mom, the dad, Macaulay Culkin, and Buzz.
No, they have in that family picture, they had like 4 kids.
Do they?
Yeah. When he's holding the family picture.
Well, here's another question.
Yeah.
The movie starts with Harry as a cop.
Yes.
In the house.
Yes. Scoping, casing the joint.
How did he get in the house?
How did he get the cop outfit? Well, he just knocked on the door.
But he's standing there trying to get someone's attention.
Hey, do you live here?
And he's just how did he get in the house?
So I don't know.
Who let him in?
Somebody let him in. He lets the pizza guy in.
He does let the
initially.
Pizza guy.
He's like, your kids, how you doing? Say anything? He's like, a house full of kids. Nobody lives here. And then the gold tooth, tying that together to when Kevin sees the shine on the gold tooth. When they almost hit him with the van, they filmed that in reverse.
I don't like the way the kids looked at me.
Yeah, it's like I tell you something funny. We know that you're in there and that you're all alone. Oh, I love the line. We're getting scammed by a kindergartner. Also great. Oh, how about pizza? A large one-topping pizza. What he said, $12.50 a pie. That's just some good price. I don't think you could get a large pizza for $12.50 these days. Maybe.
A whole pie?
Yeah.
$12.50?
Even at Domino's. Oh, you can't get a large pizza for $12.50.
What does that cost in New York, Ruggs, or New Jersey?
I would say like at least $18.
At least
I'm
18
trying to think
20.
how much that would cost here. Yeah, $20, right? 18 to 20.
At least like $12.50 for a large pizza. It was pretty good back in the day.
When Buzz is Buzz like having heartburn in that scene? What's happening?
I don't know. He's pretending to vomit. He's just fucking with him. He's like, oh.
Is he fucking with him, or is there something happening
He's
there?
like, grab a plate.
No, he's fucking with him.
I'm about to puke it up. Grab a plate.
Oh, that's right, because he said you're going to have to get it out of my stomach to eat it.
You're what the French call les incompetents.
Les incompetents.
And then I love when the Buzz is like, is it true French babes don't shave their pits? But they go like, getting ready. There's so many good lines, just so many. Okay, the whole grocery scene where he goes shopping and he's like, are these TV dinners any good? She's like, I don't know. He goes, I'll give him a whirl. And then when she questions him,
when she's questioning him, he's great.
So good. Oh, he's the army man, and he goes, it's for the kids.
It's for the kids.
He's like, are you here by yourself? She goes, ma'am, I'm 8 years old. Would I be here by myself? I don't think so.
Where's your mom?
In the car.
Work. Where's your dad?
At work.
Yeah, in the car.
Where do you live? I can't tell you. Why? You're a stranger. So good.
He is. I mean, at this time, Macaulay Culkin, I believe, was one of the bigger stars.
He became as
Hollywood.
big a child star as like Shirley Temple was back in the day. Like this
really?
Kid,
wow.
Yeah. This kid was everywhere. He emancipated himself. I think when he was 18, he retired at 14.
Does that mean?
He started hanging out with Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Oh, he did hang out. Emancipated just means he went away from his parents, because I think there was that thing with child actors where the parents were taking all the money. Happened to Gary Coleman. Now, what I love is he had a little bit of issues with some drug problems in the 2000s, but he got over it. And for him to be this huge child star, and right now he's pretty well adjusted. Like, he's got a family, he's got 2 kids, he's married. I've heard some interviews. Like, I want to have a beer.
Rogan.
Yeah, he was on Rogan, and he's.
I mean, he does red letter media all the time.
He seems really cool. Like, I want to hang out with Macaulay. He did recently here at Rosemont Theater. They did a screening of Home Alone, and then there was a Q&A with Macaulay Culkin. I almost bought tickets to go see that.
Well, he had a run from 88 to 94, and then he stopped. He went cold turkey.
Yeah, he kind of retired.
During that run, he did the Home Alone 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Uncle Buck.
Yeah, Uncle Buck was how he got the Home Alone job.
My Girl.
My Girl is a great movie, and it's so sad.
Sad as fuck.
And you don't know that.
Good Son.
Good Son is where he swears. He says, fuck.
And then Richie Rich is also in there.
You know what? Richie Rich was a bomb, but I would have thought he's like perfect for Richie Rich. It must.
I like Richie Rich too.
It must have been a bad script. I never saw that.
It's stupid as fuck, but
he stopped acting.
He stopped acting at like 14.
What does he do now for money?
what does he do now?
I think he's back doing some.
Is he directing?
He was on the Righteous Gemstones. He did a couple episodes of American Horror Story.
He's the CEO of a pop culture website called Bunny Ears.
Oh yeah, he does bunny ears, and he's actually like embraced this Home Alone. He's done some fun videos of him still as Kevin. There was that one video where he was like had long hair, he was smoking cigarettes, and he was talking about the abuse he had as a kid. It was like a real. What if Kevin McAllister was really grew up, and he's like, my mom didn't give a shit, and he's all bad. It's kind of funny. But Kieran Culkin also goes on to win lots of Emmys. He's on Succession. He's actually a really good actor too. But the fact that this kid didn't like completely demolish his life after this kind of fame.
Well, most of them do, right?
Yeah. Most of them
the
crash
guy
out.
I'm thinking about that got really fucked. I mean, there's a bunch, but the guy I'm thinking about right away is Furlong.
Eddie Furlong. And he wasn't even an actor. They just fucking plucked him and put him in a movie.
It's back in the day, they plucked you out and then they just said, hey, go figure it out.
Yeah, then they just kick you to the curb and you just gotta fucking.
And you didn't make any money off of it because all your parents took all the money.
Other details that a lot of people asked in these many years, why is there a doggy door? A lot of people. And that's a good question.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
They mentioned, though, in the beginning when she's on the phone, they mentioned putting the dog in the kennel. So he's plugged all these plot holes, if you think about it. What I think everything else I already mentioned, and nominated for 2 Academy Awards. Sold
for what?
I think it was Best Score and Best Original Song. So it was mostly John Williams. Sold 11 million. Macaulay Culkin also recently said he almost considered buying the Home Alone house this year when it went on sale. But it's just, this is an all-timer.
I mean, if going into like my closing on this, and me and Imran gushed over this, so sorry, Rugg. This is taken over. I mean, this movie is an all-time Christmas movie for me. I'm actually going to post in here after we're done. Barstool came up with a holiday movie bracket.
Oh,
but for me, I'll just say right up front, this is the greatest Christmas movie I've ever seen. Not even like technically made, even though it's really well done, but just the way it connects for me and the way again, growing up as a child watching it. But yeah, this movie's awesome. I still laugh at it. It's PG, but I laugh at everything. It's lightning in a bottle in terms of the acting and the whole bits and all that stuff. I thoroughly still enjoy this movie, and there's certainly even some parts in the movie where I get even a little like, oh wow, that's really cute. Like the whole old man Marley stuff is really nice.
I mean, it gets you in the feels at the end. Here's a question:
this movie, and then Home Alone 2, which is basically a remake of
2 is not bad. It's the same thing.
2 is awesome too.
Yeah,
2. I'll throw that out there. 2, Lost in New York. Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
The thing about 2, right? That lady with the pigeon, she's homeless. Kevin, what is he? He brings her like food or something.
Doves. He brings her turtle dove.
Don't you think he could have offered like his hotel room or a place to live, something better for this lady that saved his life? I mean, you had a room, you could have. But he just brought her turtle doves. Yeah, but that one is wild because you have Tim Curry, Rob Schneider, Donald fucking Trump in this movie, and yes. There's that
we'll save the review for a home. Yeah. At some point, we might do Home Alone 2.
But 1 is a classic. Here's a question I thought of watching this again. Why did they have mannequins in the basement to begin with? Anybody answer me that he uses to set up the party? But I was like, why are there mannequins there?
Why? Oh yeah, that is a good question. Maybe she's a fashion designer.
Yeah, we don't know what she does.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
Yeah. And then that classic like Michael Jordan cutout. I remember seeing that everywhere. So it's a
3 Men and a Baby.
Yeah. It's in that one too. That's right.
No, I'm kidding.
Isn't that the cutout of the window?
That was Ted Danson.
But it's like, it's so, also coming from Chicago, it's so like suburban Chicago, and like John Hughes always knows how to make that feel special, like all those Brat Pack movies from the 80s. So yeah, I think I've been to the drugstore where he steals the toothbrush. You could go there.
Hey, sir, you're going to have to pay for that. Hey,
Jimmy, stop that boy.
Stop, shoplifter.
And I'm a criminal. Also, when he's walking home and the bag rips and all his groceries.
Wasn't he already brushing his teeth? What does he need?
No, he said, I couldn't find my toothbrush, so I'll pick one up when I go out.
Oh, he couldn't find it.
Yeah, he couldn't find it. He's like, what is he?
He lost it packing, I think.
He talks about how he bathes. He's like, and even, I forgot what he says, but it's real funny.
Him narrating in the mirror.
Narrating what he does. So good. And he does the laundry and he's doing the dishes. Like, he's a good kid. He's a good kid who almost killed these people. All right. Final thoughts. Give me a score there, Anthony.
Yeah, I mean, I gave the final thoughts real quick, but my favorite Christmas movie of all time, 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Yes. You know what?
There's no other score I would ever give this movie than 10. I could have watched it last night, which I did, and been like, wow, there's 75 plot holes in here, and the acting's really bad, and I would have been like, but I loved it as a kid, and it's awesome.
No, but the acting.
But it's not. But that's the problem. That's the thing. It actually doesn't have all.
It doesn't have
plot holes and stuff.
Not a lot. I mean, it's
actually pretty clever for a children's movie.
Holds up. The acting is great. I'm right there with you. As an all time, I gotta watch this every year. 10 out of 10. This is a fucking damn near perfect movie, and it doesn't overstay its welcome, and it's hilarious.
I'm curious though about Ruggs.
Ruggs, what's the real score? Is it Rotten Tomatoes?
The real score? I mean, look, you can go and you can make the case that the kid would miss his mom and dad and be scared enough to go talk to like the guy at the church, the million people that he talks to. He goes to the store. He goes everywhere. He could have, like the movie would have been over if
he answered the door when the cop first came and he wasn't scared. The movie would have been over, right?
Yeah. So like, there's a lot of things that happen because they needed to happen for the movie to happen, and that's in every movie. So, but that's one of the ones that's glaring. That like, if you are not in the mood for this movie, you're an adult, like you're stuck watching a kid's movie, and you're like, why didn't you just fucking tell someone? Like, you know. And so there's that. But I do think that this is a classic film. It's enjoyable for adults and kids. It does have a lot of that 80s, 90s charm, that John Hughes, Christopher Columbus movie magic that you need. It's got Macaulay Culkin. It's a memorable performance. So I think I would say, like, I was going to say 7.58. Like, that's the real score.
There you go. That's good for Ruggs too.
Wait, here's a question. Now, when you watch it as a kid, you were on Kevin's side. You're rooting for Kevin, obviously. When you watch it as an adult, does anybody sympathize with Harry and Marv at all? This piece of shit kid who's...
No, I don't sympathize with them. I think that he's a dick to his parents, though. But
yeah,
like,
he's a fucking
he's a dick to his parents.
Yeah.
But though, I mean, they're stealing from people on Christmas and then flooding their house. Yeah, that's like the worst thing you can do.
That? The wet bandits. Yeah, that causes a lot of damage.
Yeah, I'm not rooting for the bad guys.
I just threw in the chat.
Yeah.
So the next question I have, and click on that link.
Yeah, I see it.
Barstool Sports did a bracket of all the all-time Christmas movies. I would love to get both of your opinions on what's your favorite Christmas movie of all time?
Oh, God. I mean, they got Home Alone up against Scrooged there.
Well, this is just a bracket they did, and they did it where it's the classic bracket, the modern faves, animated, and then kind of Christmassy, and then they just played it out from there.
So,
but what's your favorite Christmas movie, both of you? Because you already know what mine is.
Aside from Home Alone, I would put Elf up there.
Yeah, I think Elf is my favorite.
Okay, Elf.
A Christmas Story? What about A Christmas Story? Oldie but good.
That's in the mix. It's in the top 5.
A Christmas Story is with the leg, right, as a lamp?
Yeah,
that's great.
It must be Italian. I'm starting to think It's a Wonderful Life. Maybe a little overrated. Maybe.
I have never seen It's a Wonderful Life.
It's fucking long. It's like 3 hours long.
The Santa Claus movie with Home Improvement guy?
Tim Allen.
That one's really good.
Tim Allen. They got Batman Returns on here and Lethal Weapon, which are good Christmas movies.
Well, that
Gremlins is a good one.
Gremlins is a good one.
That bracket is kind of Christmassy. You see that?
Yeah.
Where they're saying these are the movies that are tangential Christmas movies.
I haven't watched Love Actually in a while.
Oh, yeah. People like that with the rom-com.
I think you got some definitely, there's things missing here.
Really? What movies are you thinking of that you would?
There's like the Santa Claus movie, the one about Kris Kringle when he's a puppet, the one that's the Santa Claus is coming to town. That's a good one.
Is that an animated? Was that
one?
a TV show though? It wasn't a movie.
Was it a TV movie? I don't know. It was like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It's like in that whole thing.
Die Hard, of course, is a Christmas movie.
Yes, but I don't really. I don't
consider that a Christmas movie. So
I'm talking about movies about Christmas, about your family.
Just because
it
happens to take place at Christmas doesn't count.
There's a difference. So
yeah,
the way I distinguish it is there's Christmas movies about Christmas, and then there's movies that are set during Christmas.
Sure. Yes.
Die Hard's set during Christmas, but there's nothing about that movie that's about Christmas.
It's not, but they reference Christmas a lot.
Scrooged is great.
Scrooged is pretty good.
Scrooge is great.
Scrooge in a long
Bill
time.
Murray. I haven't seen that in a long time either.
But I feel like that Elf, Scrooged, and Christmas Story, and then you got I would say some of the other
Christmas Vacation. You got to put this.
Christmas Vacation.
Wait, Ruggs. You're not a fan. You're not. I can't believe you're not sticking up for your boy Arnold with Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way is a fun movie.
Jingle All the Way is not a terrible Christmas movie either. It does have all the things about you wanting to be there for your family and get your kid the present, but then you really all the kid wants is his dad. But
right.
But I don't know. I just really think that Elf is great.
I got to rewatch Elf. A lot of people actually say that Elf is their favorite. I mean, I've seen it once, but I don't have the childhood connection to it like I do.
What Elf did is now everybody, when they see Santa, everybody goes, I know him. Like, the Santas must get tired of hearing that shit all the time.
It's just so rewatchable.
It's on TV all the time, and it is rewatchable.
It's really rewatchable.
What's your favorite, like, if we're going and looking at this bracket, and I'm going to post this in the notes.
Okay.
But what's your favorite of those animated movies? Is there a favorite on there?
I mean, Nightmare Before Christmas is
that's the one that sticks out to me.
Great.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Muppets Christmas Carol is actually pretty good.
I'm going to go Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
The original Rudolph is good too. Yeah. Charlie Brown Christmas.
Because it's about being a misfit, and they got the Bumbles, and the Bumbles bounce, and you got whatever, Yukon Cornelius. And,
I would put the original Grinch half an hour animated
Skinny
Grinch.
Santa.
Not the movie.
Okay. What about the kind of Christmassy bracket? Which of those do you think is your favorite? Look at that. Rocky IV is on there,
Rocky
too. I didn't
IV,
realize
Edward
that was
Scissorhands,
during Christmas.
Batman Returns.
I think Gremlins, I would say.
Reindeer Games, Lethal Weapon.
Yeah. Like,
Gremlins.
Lethal Weapon's a great movie, and so is Batman Returns, but I don't really, they're Christmas movies. They take place at Christmas.
Gremlins is about a Christmas present gone wrong.
Is that what it's about? I haven't seen that.
He buys him fucking Gizmo for Christmas from the Chinese guy. We should review Gremlins. It's a fun movie.
Gremlins is a fucking great movie, and it's still scary.
Yeah,
and it's still kind of like not really scary, but it still holds up.
Yeah.
I'm curious why they put Home Alone 3 as kind of Christmassy when that movie is definitely a Christmas movie. But
aren't they all the Home Alones take place at Christmas? Probably.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
The kind of Christmassy bracket, though, looking at that, those are some banger movies.
Yeah.
You got Die Hard, Rocky IV, Edward Scissorhands, Batman Returns, Lethal Weapon, Gremlins.
Yeah.
Reindeer
games. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know about reindeer games, but the top 6, I think, are fucking good movies.
Yeah, it's an interesting bracket. I think I would swap out a couple of things, but
I think the winner, I saw it online, and the winner ended up being Home Alone.
It has. See, I think what we've done, though, is establish.
What is that? What is this Grumpy Cat's worst Christmas ever?
I don't know. Grumpy Cat. Listen, we have established Home Alone is the greatest Christmas movie of all time, period. Jock and Nerd. That's official.
I've never seen Grumpy Cat's worst Christmas
Grumpy Cat was this whole thing that was popular for a second. Comics. Something. I don't know what that is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyways.
All right.
Let's.
Yeah, we movie released or show episode or episode released on Christmas. We got to talk about.
We got to do Home Alone. And I'm surprised it took us 9 years to get to this movie, but we did it.